Around 10 a.m. on September 13, 2005, in Lubbock, Northwest Texas, a sanitation worker was handling garbage when he found a strange suitcase in the trash pile. The suitcase looked heavy, as if it contained something. Out of curiosity, he opened the suitcase and found a naked female body curled up inside. The sanitation worker was terrified and quickly called the police. It was obvious that this was not the first crime scene. Since the scene was full of garbage, it was hard to collect valid evidence. To determine where the suitcase came from, the police checked the CCTV here, but made no progress. To identify the victim as soon as possible, the police turned their attention to the body itself. The victim's time of death was within 48 hours, which means that the crime occurred between September 11th and September 13th. The victim had sexual intercourse before her death, and there were severe blunt force injuries in her lower body. In addition, the victim's body was covered with wounds and fractures. She must have been beaten before her death. The police also deduced from the struggle marks in the suitcase that the victim was not dead when she was put into the suitcase. She must have been suffocated alive in the suitcase. Moreover, the victim had a summer tattoo on her ankle. Later, the police identified the victim by her tattoo and fingerprints. The victim's name was Summer Baldwin, born on August 27, 1976 in Tacoma, Washington. She was 29 years old and the mother of 4 children. A few days ago, she was arrested for making fake certificates. Summer came to Lubbock, Texas 3 years ago, in 2002, to join her Aunt Terry. Terry told the police that she last saw Summer 3 days ago and didn't know where Summer went after that. Around 1 p.m. on the day of finding the body, the coroner detected drugs in the victim's body and found that Summer was 10 weeks pregnant. This unborn child gave the police a new direction. Summer had a boyfriend who was highly suspicious. To find this person, the police started investigating Summer's friends around her. Soon the police found Summer's boyfriend Larkin. Larkin reacted calmly to Summer's death. He told the police that they had broken up and he didn't know about Summer's pregnancy. Then Larkin provided an alibi to the police. From September 10th to September 13th, he was with his new girlfriend. The police gave Larkin a lie detector test and he passed it. Larkin's suspicion was temporarily ruled out. Then the police turned their attention to the black suitcase that contained Summer. The suitcase was new, with a plastic tag still on the handle and clean inside. The police found a UPC code from the tag, which was a product code from Walmart. The suitcase was bought from Walmart, and there was only one Walmart in Lubbock town. According to Walmart employees, only 2 of these suitcases were sold in the past 7 days. The police found from the surveillance video that the first buyer of the suitcase was a woman who flew to another city for vacation after buying the suitcase. The other buyer was a Hispanic male with short hair, medium height, and wearing a green polo shirt. It should be noted, he bought the suitcase at 2:30 a.m. on September 12th. In addition, he also bought a pair of rubber gloves. Then he drove away in a red pickup truck from Walmart. But from the video recorded by surveillance cameras, it was impossible to see his face clearly. Fortunately, he paid with a debit card, so the police quickly got his information. Rosendo Rodriguez III was born on March 26, 1980, and was 25 years old at that time, who had attended Texas Tech University, and now lived in San Antonio, and currently worked for Marine Corps Reserve Unit. More importantly, Rosendo had been training in Lubbock every week for several months recently. From the time of crime and purchase record of suitcase, Rosendo's suspicion was very high. On September 14, 2005, by tracking his debit card consumption, the police came to Holiday Inn where he had recently stayed for investigation. Although he had checked out, they still found traces of blood on sheets in hotel room. After testing, these bloodstains were exactly those of victim Summer. In trash can of room, police also found a pair of bloody rubber gloves and several used condoms. In addition, hotel surveillance recorded Rosendo dragging suitcase back to hotel at 3:10 a.m. on September 12th and stayed in room for about an hour. At around 4:20 a.m., Rosendo dragged black suitcase out of guest room and returned empty-handed at around 6 a.m. On September 15th, Rosendo was arrested at his parents' home in San Antonio. In his bedroom, police took away his computer, cell phone, and a rental agreement for a red pickup truck. Facing police interrogation, Rosendo calmly told police that he and Summer had consensual sex. The bloodstains in room were from Summer's nosebleed. Summer's death had nothing to do with him. In Rosendo's computer, police found that he had browsed web pages about victim Summer and searched for how to dispose of body. In addition, coroner extracted DNA of Rosendo and Summer from rubber gloves found in hotel. Faced with conclusive evidence, Rosendo finally confessed to crime. On September 9, 2005, Rosendo came to Lubbock for training. After training ended on September 11, Rosendo contacted Summer through internet. They agreed to go to Holiday Inn for sex trade at midnight. At 12 o'clock, Rosendo and Summer came to hotel and checked in. Then, they had sex in room. After that, Summer asked Rosendo for money, but Rosendo didn't want to pay anymore. He felt that her service was not good and even not as advertised. But Summer insisted that Rosendo pay her. They had an argument. Rosendo knocked her out when she was tidying up her clothes. Then Rosendo started beating Summer. Soon Summer fell into a coma. Then Rosendo left hotel and went to Walmart to buy a suitcase and rubber gloves. Then he returned to hotel. He stripped off Summer's clothes and disposed of everything that could prove his identity. He stuffed Summer into Suitcase. Around 4 a.m., Rosendo dragged Suitcase with Summer inside out of hotel. He drove borrowed red pickup truck to Lubbock outskirts landfill and threw Suitcase there. Around 6 a.m., Rosendo returned to hotel. He simply tidied up room and watched movies in room for a day. The next morning, which was September 13th, when Summer's body was found, Rosendo left Lubbock and returned to San Antonio. During interrogation of Rosendo, police found from his computer that he had chatted with several women online. What surprised police most was that there was also a 16-year-old girl named Anna who had disappeared a year ago. Anna's missing person notice could be seen everywhere in Lubbock. Especially her smile was hard to forget. Anna was born on August 27, 1987 in Lubbock. She was a smart and lovely girl, but she disappeared from her parents' home late at night on May 4, 2004. There were no signs of struggle at scene and no clues. Anna was only 16 years old when she disappeared. Anna's father told police that before she disappeared, Anna had a boyfriend, but they didn't know who he was. He was not one of her friends around her. After Anna disappeared, her parents tried to find her by posting her missing person notice on streets and alleys of Lubbock, but they got nothing in the end. With the arrest of Rosendo, Anna's disappearance case was also solved. Rosendo told police that in early April 2004, he saw Anna's photo on web page when he browsed web. He was fascinated by Anna, so Rosendo started approaching Anna. Anna was also interested in polite Rosendo. A month later, they became boyfriend and girlfriend. On May 4, 2004, Rosendo asked Anna to meet him late at night. Blinded by love, Anna agreed without thinking. Because she was afraid of worrying her father, Anna sneaked out of her house late at night on May 4th and met Rosendo. That day, Rosendo rented a gray pickup truck. After Anna got in car, Rosendo drove car to a quiet place. In car, Rosendo raped and killed Anna. He put Anna's body into Suitcase and dragged it to landfill in outskirts of Lubbock. This was also where Summer's suitcase was found. At end of December 2005, in order to find Anna's body, police came to Lubbock landfill. This was a huge landfill, covering an area of about 318.7 acres, equivalent to size of 170 soccer fields. At this time, it had been more than a year since Anna was thrown away. It was like looking for a needle in a haystack here. For this reason, Texas Governor's Office specially issued $100,000 as search fund. From winter until October next year, search work lasted for 11 months. Finally, they found Suitcase with Anna's body here. By then, Suitcase had been corroded beyond recognition. In 2008, Rosendo case began trial. Prosecution charged defendant Rosendo from two aspects. First, both of Rosendo's murders were carried out during sexual assault. Second, Rosendo killed unborn child. Victim Summer had more than 70 blunt force injuries on her body. Back, abdomen, legs, face, head were all hit. In addition, his lower body had very deep blunt force damage. Furthermore, according to the forensic results, Summer was severely injured and lost consciousness, then stuffed into the suitcase. Her cause of death was positional asphyxia. Positional asphyxia is a type of suffocation caused by the body being in an abnormal position for a long time, making breathing difficult and venous return obstructed. This shows that the killer, Rosendo, did it on purpose. This way of killing was extremely cruel. Rosendo claimed that Summer was a prostitute and that he had sex with her with mutual consent. But this view was rejected. Rosendo was sentenced to death and scheduled to be executed on March 27, 2018. Rosendo appealed against the verdict, but his appeal was dismissed on October 30, 2017. The original sentence was upheld, and the execution date remained unchanged. On March 27, 2018, Rosendo was executed in prison. Before the execution, the warden asked Rosendo if he had anything to say. Rosendo calmly said, "You can only have my body, but you never had my mind. I finally joined my father's rank." According to Rosendo's prison psychologist, Rosendo grew up in his alcoholic father's abuse and was very sensitive and fragile. During Rosendo's interrogation, he faced the victim's family with an extremely arrogant attitude and showed no remorse at all.